Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and generally I'm just reading a lot of books, which I still am, but also I work at a theatre and so I get to see a lot of shows. And last night I had an incredible night at the theatre. Leeds Playhouse, beautiful thing. Yeah, as I'm filming this, it is the 20th of October, so I saw this on the 19th, which was press night, and it's on to the 28th of October, and this was an incredible show. I know nothing about this play, but it was just so good. It was just so good. I will say that it is miserable outside, so lots of water falling out of the sky, so if you hear wind and rain, sorry, but I can't do anything about the weather. Yeah. So I'll just read to you what the website has about what the play is. Teenage boys Steve and Jamie are neighbours, both being bullied, Jamie at school and Steve at home by his violent father and brother. One night, when things get too much, Steve seeks refuge in Jamie's flat, and sharing a bed, the boys strike up a new relationship. Together they come to terms with their sexuality and explore their feelings alongside their mama-cast, loving, rebellious friend Leah, and with the much-needed emotional support of Jamie's lioness mother, Sandra. This was such an incredible play. It was hilarious. I don't think we stopped for breath on the funny moments because everybody was just crying with laughter throughout the whole show. But then it also had its moments of incredible seriousness, especially considering the subject matter. It was heartwarming and a little bit heartbreaking at times, but nevertheless so uplifting and, as I said, just so funny. The entire cast were absolutely incredible. It's quite a small cast. It's 6 people, well technically 5 people on stage, and then there's understudy as well. So the main characters are Steve, Jamie, Tony, Sandra and Leah. Oh my god, Scarlett Rayner as Leah, she was so funny, she was so ridiculous. She's literally the crazy neighbour, and when certain things happen, especially in the second half where you've got the family, so you've got Jamie, Sandra and then her boyfriend Tony, and you've also got Steve coming out from next door trying to just observing what is happening to Leah in the second half, and just seeing like the facial expressions, and that's in a theatre where you can see those facial expressions and you can see their reaction to what's happening, and oh my god, it was just so ridiculous. It was so funny. The creatives, it was written by Jonathan Harvey, director Anthony Simpson Pike, with set and costume design by Rosie L. Nile, lighting by Elliot Griggs, sound designer is Zana, casting director Isabella Adoffin, Robert Awasusi as the assistant director. This was just such a good show. The set for this show, absolutely incredible. I love the moment when I go into a theatre and I can see the set for the first time. So I'll pop a picture up on the screen of the set. Fully cover the proscenium arch, so like from side to side, and going up to the top as well. And you're basically just looking at like a block of flats. It looks proper like 60s style block of flats, and the way theatres can transform with a set is absolutely incredible. This is why I love sets so much. When I go to a theatre, if I'm allowed to take pictures, I will get a picture of the set before the show starts. That is with permission, and if I'm allowed to. If I'm not allowed to, fair enough, but if I can, I will get that picture before the show has started of just the set as you walk in, because I'm obsessed with it. I've always been obsessed with it. As somebody who is creative but not that creative, I sing and I act, but I think the mind to bring a set like that to life is incredible. Whether it's from drawing it to making it, I just think what people do to bring sets to theatres is, I bow down to people who create and design sets, because I just think it's beautiful what people can do. Yeah, this show was just so funny and so heartwarming, and as I said, I didn't know this play, and yeah, so you've got your 2 main characters, Jamie and Tony. They are the heart of the show really, and they are both teenagers, they're at school, they're kind of 15, 16 years old, and so is their neighbour Leah. And yeah, you just see them coming of age and understanding their sexuality. But yeah, seeing the characters of Steve and Jamie and Leah together, their friendship is hilarious. At the beginning of the show, it starts off with Leah and Jamie and their friendship living next door to each other. Yeah, I just thought it was such a good show. It was just hilarious. Looking at the relationships between Steve and Jamie, and then Steve, Jamie and Leah, and Jamie and Leah, and Steve and Leah, and then also looking at because the only adults you have are Sandra, which is Jamie's mum, and then her relationship with her boyfriend, Tony. I think it's supposed to be that Sandra's supposed to be her mid-30s, Tony's supposed to be 28. There's a comment in the play about how he's not actually old enough to be Jamie's dad. But Tony is like very straight-laced, and so as you kind of get to know that character throughout the play, you realise he's not quite as straight-laced as you originally thought, as you start to get a bit deeper into that character. The character of Sandra, the mum, she's just great. Siobhan Marks, who plays Sandra, just her comic timing is out of this world. But then also she was very good in the serious moments, especially in a scene where there is a fight between Sandra and Jamie, the mother and the son, it's amazing how you can go from quite a funny scene into it taking such a dramatic turn, but then still seeing the love between mother and son. It's very nuanced, that scene, but it was incredibly powerful. There was also another part of the set which I missed the first time it was on because I had to deal with some people taking photos inside the theatre. Basically, where these two are sat here next to the door, there's like a cutout which is very hard to see. Even on stage it's not that noticeable, but when they're doing the scenes in Jamie's bedroom, that comes out as a bed. And when I saw that, it was just like, because at first when I first saw it, because I'd missed it coming out the first time because I was dealing with something, because I was working, and it was like, oh, where did the bed come from? And then at the end of the scene when I saw the bed go in, it was just like, oh my god, that is so cool. There was a point in the second half when the duvet got stuck in the set, and so there was a moment during a scene when I just saw it got pushed out slightly and they pulled in the duvet and pulled it back in again. It's live theatre. I love theatre when things go wrong. That's just like part of the magic of it. But it's just like, I noticed it. I don't know how many other people noticed it because there was something else happening on stage at the time. But yeah, that moment just had me giggling a little bit. But yeah, I just found it fantastic. The fact that it was press night meant that it was pretty much sold out. There were only a couple of gaps. And because we've got newbies starting, because our Christmas show is in the round this year, so we have extra staff. And so I had somebody shadowing me as well. And yeah, we were just dealing with things. But the last couple of shows I've had at the theatre, I've had to deal with things that I don't normally have to deal with. I mean, I've had to tell people off for using phones and stuff. It's just the fact that in this case it was people in the middle of the row, and so me and my colleague who was sat on the other side, neither of us could get to them, and so we had to wait till the interval to tell them off. And so I was just like waiting for the row behind them to clear so that I could go across and just say, look, if you are press, you should know how to behave. If you're not, just put your phones away. Just everything from the set to the costumes, just all the little things of the script and stuff, how they brought it to life. I'm obsessed with theatre, I really am. But yeah, it's on in the Courtyard Theatre, so it's a very traditional proscenium march in the courtyard, which is what makes the set so incredible, because they really do just make use of the whole height and width of the stage there. I just don't know this play, because I mean, obviously when you're at uni and things and you study drama, there's certain plays that you study. This is just something that's never just been on my radar, and I just thought it was just so lovely and incredible and heartwarming and gut-wrenching, and it's just, yeah, because it's also a play kind of about race as well and how people are treated, and then you've also got the fact that two of the main characters are gay, and so you've got that on top of it as well, and so it's powerful while at the same time being incredibly funny. It's very British, and I think that the Brits are very good at doing comedy drama, and that is what this is. It's a drama, but it's also incredibly funny. Incredibly funny. And everybody has their moment to shine when it comes to that comedy. The character of Jamie really goes for that. I think of all of them, I'd probably say that, because I mean, Tony is funny, but he's also a bit of kind of the straight man in it as well. And the way they all react to what happens to Leah in the second half is great, because you've got Sandra just there going saying like, I live next door to a complete psychopath because of what's going on. I'm not going to tell you what happens because it's all just got so many layers. And as I said, the only adults you actually have on stage are Sandra and Tony, and even then they're still kind of acting like young in love teenagers a little bit. It kind of mirrors what's happening to Jamie and Steve in a way, because while Jamie and Steve kind of establish that relationship throughout the show, you've got Sandra and Tony there from the very beginning. And it also looks at how a parent deals and reacts to their child coming out, and the different ways of that. You know from Steve's home life how his parents, how his father would react, but Sandra and Tony's reaction is so heartwarming, because I think it's one of those things where you don't want your child to go through something where they are bullied, that makes it harder for them, but at the same time you want to be accepting. It's one of those things which was like, I will love you no matter what, but ultimately I wouldn't wish the hardship on you. I think that's the way to word it. But yeah, I just found this incredibly powerful, incredibly funny. There were so many points when I just wanted to laugh out loud, and I was just kind of like giggling to myself in the corner because I'm working, but obviously that doesn't mean I can't enjoy the show. But yeah, I just thought it was so good and just so funny. How many times did I say funny throughout this? Because it really was just hilarious. There were points when I was starting to kind of like cry with laughter because I was kind of trying to suppress it a little bit, but at the same time I don't think anybody would have cared because everybody was laughing. Everybody. Beautiful thing. I'm from the 18th to the 28th of October. As I record this, it is the 20th. I'm trying to get this up as soon as I can. Yeah, that is the poster for it on at Leeds Playhouse, and yeah, just so good. It's 2 hours including the interval, because it's basically both acts are 50 minutes and there's a 20-minute interval. And there was a point when we carried out for the interval, it was like, oh, I think we'll be going back in at about 9ish, and then I think it was about 5 to 9 when the show started up again. And I found it interesting that the show starts with the house lights up. Both the first and the second act started with the house lights up. It says, I wasn't aware of that, so if I work it again, I will know for the future. But yeah, it was just so good. The age guidance on it is 14+. It does have adult themes. The trigger advisory says strong language, references to and sounds of domestic abuse not shown on stage, threats of violence and drug use, which is not shown on stage, fat phobia, and homophobic language. Though I will say, it says sounds of domestic violence not shown on stage. There is a fight on stage between the mother and the son. It's basically kind of like she slaps him and then he slaps her back, and then it becomes a full-on fight on stage. So even though the triggers advisory says the domestic violence is not shown on stage, I personally do think it is shown in that fight between Sandra and Jamie. I'm just going to pop that one out there. Incredible show, incredible play, and yeah, beautiful thing. On to the 28th of October 2023, and there's your heart of the show, Steve and Jamie. Yeah. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time with another video. Mwah. Stay safe, everybody. Love you all.